Water swimming.
Now, what other sporting venture would you regularly get views like this? Beautiful weather. I cannot wait to get out on the lake. Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to the island of Rob. That's right, this week I've made it out of my office and down to the lakeside, which can mean only one thing: it's open water swimming time. Now, I've spoke about it before, but I'm going to do a review of the actual the activity itself, why it's different to pool swimming, which may seem obvious, but there are additional factors, and what you'll need to enjoy your very own lake swimming. Now, obviously the main thing that you will need to go lake swimming, guys, is a lake. Now, I'm lucky enough to live near this beautiful lake. Now, if there are big bodies of water near you, more than likely there's probably someone that's doing open water swimming in it if it's clean. Now, always seek the advice and permission from your local open water swimming instructors or groups, or just find whoever it is that owns the body of water. Check with them, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you take your steps to having your own fun in the lake. Now, when I say fun in the lake, it really is phenomenal. I would say to other triathletes who are looking to do open water swimming for maybe building up their triathlon distances, things like that, the open water swimming, in comparison to pool swimming, it's the equivalent difference between spending time on the bike on the road and going out on the turbo. Now, people may not understand that reference, but a lot of you guys might do. Failing that, just know that open water swimming is so very different. Or it could be described as the difference between going out running in the street or out in a park to running on a treadmill. The scenery not only gives it a whole new breath of life, the actual distance you're swimming makes, I find I always swim a lot further because I'm not swimming to a set amount of lengths, I'm swimming to a distance. And generally once I get out there, I have to swim that distance because I have to swim back, or I just feel more inclined to because it doesn't feel like such a drag. I've maybe done 4 laps where I could have done 64 lengths. Now, that is a pretty big difference. So, find a lake, get permission, and next, equipment. I'm going to spin the camera around. Let's go over the things you'll need. Now, obviously, you will need all the standard things you would need in terms of swimming as you would do in a pool. Towel, trunks, or whatever. Obviously, those are the standards. However, the things that you may need for open water swimming, and the things that I would suggest, is number 1, a bright swimming hat. Now, I'm using the very masculine AJ Bell London Triathlon hat today, but any hat, basically, so you can be seen from the shoreline by the lifeguards or just other personnel that might be down there swimming with you. Because if you get into trouble, you want people to be able to see you. Number 2, a wetsuit. Now, a wetsuit isn't always required when you're open water swimming, however, it is often suggested, and especially in this kind of climate, the temperature can drop fairly. And although you can swim without it, often if it's really cold, the wetsuit will mean you'll be able to swim a hell of a lot longer than without. And lastly, this is my Lomo chill swim. Now, I would suggest getting a chill swim just like this one, because this one has been fantastic and I've tried a few of them. It's not quite as cheap as the other ones, but it's a really good one. It folds up pretty much to nothing. It's got a long strap on it, And what these are for, guys, is for if you get into trouble, you can just grab hold. If you get into trouble, you can just grab hold of one of these and just hang there and float. And it doesn't matter how good a swimmer you are. I was a trained lifeguard, and that doesn't stop me from periodically getting cramp when I'm swimming. Now if I get cramp, I can just grab hold of this, and I know that I can just float there until it passes, or at the very least struggle to the side. I'll put a link to the Lomo in the description. If you want me to do a review of the wetsuit, my Blue 70 Sprint, I can do. And that is all you're going to need, guys, to have your very own open water swimming experience. Now I'm going to get out on the lake. You should too. So you have been and seen how good my lake swimming is. You want to try your own lake swimming. You've got all the gear I've suggested. Last few things to remember. Now the things that a lot of people panic about are not the things you should worry about. Swans. If you don't go at their home, you don't swim at them, they're not going to bother you. They're not looking for a fight despite how grumpy they can be. Likewise with geese, they're not going to cause an issue. A duck is not going to take out a human being. And fish generally aren't going to drag you to the depths, and despite the look of it, there is no leviathan, may he not wake, in the lake. It's going to be fine. You'll be okay with those kind of things, guys. The things you do need to watch out for are weeds. If you look into your actual lake, and if there are people that you're swimming with, and it's a good reason, another reason why you should find someone who locally swims in your lake before you go in. They could tell you where there are areas of thick weeds, because if you get tangled up in those, you could be in some serious trouble. And if you don't know where the weeds are, just swim with care, swim with caution. Wear your goggles and see where you're going. If you see a big area of weeds, maybe avoid it until you can assess how big it is. Likewise, another issue is diseases and infections. Now, not all of our water sources are perfectly clean out in the UK, unfortunately. However, there is some things you can do to help with that. One of the things you can do is if you have a can of Coke, and now I'm not professing to enjoy or say that Coke is healthy for you, but if you have a can of it after a open water swim, it can kill quite a lot of the actual waterborne pathogens and things like that in lakes and water sources, and it'll generally give you a better chance of avoiding things like Thames belly. And I think if a lot of people have seen about that kind of stuff, no one really wants it. I mean, if you're looking to lose weight quickly, yeah, Thames belly could do it. I wouldn't recommend it. So that is really it, guys, in terms of open water swimming. Go out there, find your own lake. Hell, if you find your own lake, tell me about it, and maybe I'll come down and have a swim with you. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And likewise, if you've liked this video, you found this video useful, remember to like, share and subscribe. And remember to hit the notifications box so you don't miss any more of this quality content. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Go out there, find your own lake and take a dip. Don't be scared of the fish, guys, and be your own island.